David and Goliath. A story of courage. David was the youngest son of Jesse. While his brothers were warriors in King Saul's army, he was just a shepherd boy, tending his father's sheep in the fields. He spent his days playing the harp and talking to God, who was his guide, his strength, and his protector. One day, Jesse sent David to take food to his brothers at the battlefield. When he arrived, he saw a giant man in heavy armor standing before the Israelite army. His name was Goliath, a Philistine warrior, taller and stronger than any man David had ever seen. Goliath mocked the Israelites, challenging them to send someone to fight him, but no one dared to step forward. David asked, "Who is this man that defies the army of the living God?" His brothers were angry at him for speaking, but he could not ignore Goliath's insults. He told King Saul, "I will fight him." The king looked at David and said, "You are just a boy, and he has been a warrior since his youth." David replied, "I have fought lions and bears while protecting my father's sheep. The same God who saved me then will save me now." Saul agreed and gave David his armor, but it was too heavy. Instead, David took his shepherd's staff, 5 smooth stones from the stream, and his sling. As David approached Goliath, the giant laughed. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" he roared. "Come here, and I will feed your flesh to the birds." David stood firm and declared, "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." 1 Samuel 17:45. He placed a stone in his sling, swung it, and released it with all his strength. The stone flew through the air and struck Goliath right in the forehead. The giant fell face down to the ground. David ran and took Goliath's own sword, cutting off his head. The Philistines saw their champion dead and fled in fear. The Israelites chased after them, claiming victory. That day, God showed that victory does not come from swords or strength, but from faith in Him. David was just a shepherd boy, but with God, he became a warrior. This story of David and Goliath reminds us that courage is not about size, strength, or experience. It is about faith. No matter how big the challenge before you, trust that with God, you can overcome anything. Just like David, you don't need the finest armor or the strongest weapons. You need a heart that believes. Stand firm, face your giants, and know that victory comes through faith, not fear.